Chapter 3, Molecules, Compounds, and Chemical Equations. How many different substances exist? And why is my iPad not showing what's on the screen? I'll just go on. If we think about it, there's 91 naturally occurring elements, and the elements combine with each other in varying amounts to make new compounds. And so if you think about all the possible combinations, it's almost limitless. So we've got this huge amount of diversity in substances that we encounter in nature, and that's a result of the ability of elements to combine with each other to form compounds. So let's look at hydrogen, oxygen, and water. And this demonstrates how dramatically the properties of elements change when they combine to form compounds. So hydrogen gas, I'm having an issue with my, this is going to be a very tedious time, okay. I can't really point. So hydrogen gas, it's a gas at room temperature. It's explosive. You don't want to have lots of hydrogen around. Oxygen, also a gas at room temperature, necessary for combustion. You put hydrogen and oxygen together, and they become extremely explosive. But if you combine two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom with chemical bonds in a molecule, you get water, which is a liquid at room temperature, and not only is it not flammable, it is used to extinguish flames. So the properties change dramatically. And how those properties change cannot be predicted just by looking at the properties of the elements on their own. So when we get two or more elements making a compound, we've got a brand new substance, completely different properties than the individual elements. And so some of the things that people get uptight about, like, oh, there's mercury preservative in my vaccine. Mercury's toxic. Oh, no. Well, the mercury is combined with other elements to form a compound that has very different properties than mercury itself. We would never inject someone with elemental mercury. That would be really bad. But mercury in a preservative is not bad. And so, some of this stuff, if the general population knew a little more chemistry, then they could all just calm down a little bit. Okay, we've talked about the law of definite proportions. Look at hydrogen and an oxygen mixture can have any proportions, but in water it has a definite proportion. There are two hydrogen atoms to one oxygen atom. Here's an illustration. Let's see, try the pointing again. So in this balloon, you could vary the amounts of hydrogen and oxygen. In water, you can't vary the amount of hydrogen relative to oxygen. It's always fixed.